Today's lecture is on how to model collaborations. So we have learned collaborations in previous lectures. For example, in this application that we have seen before. So when you slide this slider bar, that we have three observers in the dialog boxes. We have three progress bars, and when you drag this slider bar, then the progress bar, these three progress bars shows the tracks the position of the slider bar at the same time. So you can see that these objects, these four objects, collaborate together. That's so that to achieve some common goal. So we understand what is a collaboration. Now we need to understand what is modeling. So what does modeling mean? So modeling means the process of ignoring the details in a system and extract the essence of a system. So ignoring the details. So what does a model mean? A model means the result of the modeling. And in order to understand something, that we got to have a model for that. And because the real system may have many details, and we want to ignore the details, so that we just want to keep the things that we need to understand, so that we can understand the system and reason about the system. For example, let's talk about an example that how we ignore some details and keep the essence of something. For example, suppose we have two objects, and so here we have a horizontal slider object, which is a slider, and we have a progress bar. And so we just want to say that this object, this horizontal slider, send a message to the progress bar, and we don't care about how the details of implementing this message passing. So that you see that in this diagram we just show this horizontal slider send a message, value change the message to this progress bar. And so this object send a message to another object. That's the essence we want to extract. And the details are something like how to implement this. And this message passing can be implemented in many ways, different ways. For example, in the Qt system, in the Qt framework, the message passing can be implemented using signal and slots. And if not in Qt, then this could be implemented in as a function call. For example, this horizontal slider call a function in progress bar. The progress bar has a function called value changed, and then this horizontal slider can call this value change function in the progress bar. That we also can be modeled as this horizontal slider send a message value change to this progress bar. All right, now we understand what is collaboration, what is modeling, and what is a model. So there are two ways that we can model collaborations in object-oriented design. So one is called collaboration diagram, and another is called sequence diagram. So the collaboration diagram focuses on the static structure of the objects in a system, and the sequence diagrams focuses on the dynamic behavior of the objects. Now let's first take a look at the collaboration diagram. So here we have two objects. One is a horizontal slider, and another is a progress bar. And here this horizontal slider is represents an object. This is the same thing as the object diagram, remember. So we have a box, and we have object name, colon, object type, and there's a line beneath that. So this is represent an object, and here this is a progress bar object. And then the line between this object and this object is called a link. And on the link, we can, at the end of two ends of the link, we can indicate multiplicity. So here is 1, which means that in this collaboration you need to have a slider, and this slider on this end is star, which means 0 or more. So which means that one slider may have 0 or more progress bars as the listeners. So this multiplicity, this is 1 and this is star. And here there's arrow. This arrow indicates a message. This arrow indicates a message, and the direction of the arrow indicates this. Who is the sender, who is the receiver. Basically it indicates the direction of the message. So the message here in this direction, which means the horizontal slider object send a value change message to the progress bar, and on top of this arrow you write the name of the message. The name of the message in this case is value changed, and you don't need to indicate, put the parameters here. And also we'll see that there's a number and colon here. So here's one colon. Here's one means the message order. This means it means that this is the first message in a system. First message in a system. All right. Now let's take a look at another collaboration diagram. So this collaboration diagram is designed for managing a course and managing a course. Now let's take a look. Here we have a user, and this user object first manage courses, works with the course administrator object. So the first message is from the user sent to the course administrator object, say manage course, and the second message is that the course administrator object send a message to create a course for the course object. And the third message is that the course administrator call the topic object, say create topics. And the fourth message is from the course administrator to the tutor, so assign tutor to the course. So you can see that in this collaboration diagram there are four messages. The first message is from the user to the course administrator. The second message is from course administrator to the course and course administrator. The third one is course administrator to a topic object, and the fourth one is a course administrator to a tutor object. So sequence diagrams. They basically illustrate one collaboration instance. Basically, illustrate one instance of one big collaboration. It represents one aspect of it. All right, now let's take a look. So this is a sequence diagram representing the collaboration between this horizontal slider and this progress bar. So here we have two objects. So you first draw two rectangles, and you put the object name, colon, object type, and underline. That's one object. This is another object, and then you draw the dashed line underneath each box that represents time. And then to trigger the collaboration among the objects, you need to have some event, and typically this event is a user event. For example, you just the user drags this horizontal slider, so there's a user event. This user event basically user drags this horizontal slider bar. All right, so so this horizontal slider receives a signal from the user event, and then it starts executing, and then it sends value change message to this progress bar, and with the integer as the type, and then the progress bar, after the progress bar receives this value change message, and then it calls himself set value with this integer set value. It executes, and then so here this vertical bar denotes the execution of this function, execution of this value change function. All right, when it finishes, it returns. We use dashed line to indicate the return, and here is the return of the user event. All right, so the return uses dashed line. So basically, we use the spatial positions to reflect time dimension, which means that first we have this user event, right? From the top, you can see the first we have user event. Then the second message is value change, and the third message is set value. Set value basically to progress bar sent to himself. Basically, progress bar calls call function of his self is set value, and then the set value executes, and after this this value chain finishes and returns. So that's the sequence diagram for this collaboration between a horizontal slider and a progress bar. And you can see that one sequence diagram may not be sufficient to document a collaboration. That's because a collaboration may involve many objects, and there are many events can trigger some of them to collaborate together. For example, in this case, is you drag this slider bar, right? This horizontal slider, and there are many other graphical user interface objects in this system, for in this GUI, for example, and then other objects, they all can also receive user events and so on. So one sequence diagram may not be sufficient to document every aspect of collaboration, but it documents one aspect of it. It models one aspect of it. Now let's take a look of the sequence diagram and collaboration diagram for the same collaboration. So here, in this interesting example, we have a cat object, and we have policeman. And remember, this is cat class. Class you can have colon and without a name, right? For an object. All right. So we have cat object, we have a policeman, and we have an inspector, and we have a person, Now let's take a look. So first, this person kicks the cat, and the cat report to the policeman. No, the cat report to the inspector, and the inspector reports to the policeman. The policeman arrests the person. So, and in this collaboration of the four objects, this is the collaboration diagram. Now let's take a look. So first, this person kicks the cat, right? So this person kicks the cat. This is the first message, and the cat reports to the inspector. This is the second message. So the parameter here is this is a person, and this is a person and this cat, right? So and then this inspector send a message to the police, and with this person and the cat, and then this police arrest the person. The fourth message. So this is the collaboration diagram. Now let's take a look at the sequence diagram. So again, we have four objects. Then we need to list all the four objects horizontally, one after another. All right. So we have person, cat, inspector, and the policeman. All right. So now, in this collaboration, it doesn't receive a signal from the outside environment. So there are no user events, that kind of message from the outside. All right, so the person kicks the triggering event is the person kicks the cat. All right, the person kicks the cat. The cat will report to the inspector. All right, and then the inspector reports to the police. Then the police arrest the person, and then this arrest returns, and then this report to the police returns, report to the inspector returns, and then kicks the cat returns. So this is a sequence diagram. All right, so now let's compare collaboration diagram and the sequence diagram for a bit. So collaboration diagrams, the order of the interactions is implemented by ordering. So you list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sequence diagram, the order of the interactions is implemented by the vertical positioning of the bars and the starting and ending points of the bars. And the collaboration is typically specified using one collaboration diagram, because this one focuses the static relationship of those objects in terms of the collaboration. So the naming of all the rows and relative multiplicities, and links and sequence of messages, and so on. And then you may have multiple sequence diagrams, each describing one key collaboration behavior among the objects. So these are the things that you need to remember. So for collaboration diagram and sequence diagrams for the differences. And there are other diagrams that we have learned For example, say class diagram and object diagrams. So the class diagram, they basically document the design of the classes and the static relationship among the objects, right? And the object diagram, they basically document the snapshot of multiple objects in the system and their the relationship among those objects at one particular time instance. So at a particular time instance. And the class diagram means the static relationship among all these classes, and objects means at one instance. At one instance, what are the relationships among these objects?